Hi everybody, welcome to the Loud House alongside Nicole Weaving. I'm JD Raucci. High expectations, number 4 in the country in both the coaches and media poll for this Syracuse women's lacrosse team. Big reason why they might just have the single best player in the country.
Hi everybody, we welcome you here to SU Soccer Stadium in Syracuse, New York. A beautiful Sunday for soccer. JD Raucci alongside Corey Spector. 4 straight losses for the Cuse, 4 winless in a row for Fordham coming into this game. But luckily for the Orange, they have an excellent goalkeeper in Lizzie Ann Pruill.
Boy, is it good to be back. How's it going, everybody? And welcome to the Mello Center right here on the campus of Syracuse University for the 2019 Citrus TV basketball preview show alongside Sam Rothman. I'm JD Raucci.
Syracuse had a huge win against UConn on Tuesday in the non-conference schedule, but tonight it's another ACC matchup as they return to conference play and take on the number 8 Clemson Tigers. Hi everybody, we welcome you to SU Soccer Stadium on a little bit of a chilly evening, but a great evening for soccer alongside Tim Leonard. I'm JD Raucci, and this game is important for Syracuse. They need a couple of wins. It's important for Clemson to keep rolling like they have been, but this is also important because this has turned into a little bit of a rivalry.
George Marks, the sophomore keeper for Clemson, played 5 matches last season. Started off really hot. Had a shutout in his first career start against UMass a year ago and has been excellent this season as the main goalkeeper for this Clemson squad. Sinclair and Smith fighting for possession. Sinclair eventually wins it for Raposo, but he can't win it once again and knocks it out of bounds.
This has been a physical start to this game, and Sinclair not holding back. He's been in the middle of a lot of physical plays. Already has that 1 yellow card, but even the grabbing on Ryan Raposo there as well. It's going both ways.
Julio Fulcar tries to build it out of the back for the Syracuse Orange. Ahead for Goldhar, and the ball is deflected, and it lands over the touchline for another corner kick for Syracuse. So far 0 for 2 on corners, but both of them have created quality opportunities.
Syracuse is playing the soccer they want to right now, though. Ever since the first 4 or 5 minutes, which were all Clemson, the Orange have really dug deep. They're getting corners, they're getting restart opportunities, getting transition opportunities. They look like a very even matchup.
Farron low ball in to the back heel of John Austin Ricks, but a little dribbler right into the outstretched arms of George Marks. So 0 for 3, that's the emphasis, is on the corner kicks. Syracuse coming in, averaging 7.25 corner kicks per game. Already 3 with just about 20 minutes still to play in this first half. They just haven't finished them with efficiency. And when we talked to associate head coach Yuka Maslin yesterday, he said that's the #1 thing we're trying to do. Outside of maybe defending a little bit better and conceding fewer goals, we are trying to be more efficient because we know that the opportunities are there. The opportunities have been created, they just haven't been taken advantage of.
All things considered, I'd say they're executing their game plan pretty well. It's just those first 5 minutes that were really rough.
Robinson was the goal scorer 4 minutes in. Takes a couple of touches, takes a rip, and he beats Miesh once again. How about another one for Robbie Robinson? And Clemson has a 2-0 lead.
Well, you can be executing all you want, but this Clemson offense, when they get it, defense to offense, quickly in transition. I mean, this is just great foot skills from Robbie Robinson. Can go both ways. That time he uses the left, and it looks like his dominant foot because that is about as good as it gets. Tough save for Miesh there. And this Clemson team doing what they do best, getting out in space on offense, using crisp passing, and Robbie Robinson, one of their top finishers, putting on a show.
Put Dylan McDonald right on his keister with a ridiculous back cut. 11 goals now this season for Robbie Robinson. He's the #3 scorer in the ACC behind only his teammate, Kamarni Smith. But he has been absolutely fantastic in this ballgame, even with a little bit of a banged up injury he sustained with a noggin contact, little head-to-head contact earlier in this half. But he has been absolutely fantastic today.
And now that trio for Clemson, Kamarni Smith, Robbie Robinson, they have 30 goals combined, that trio that is so special for Clemson, which is just remarkable at this stage of the season.
There's a little bit of physicality on that far side, and you can see a couple of players jawing at each other. Kamarni Smith appears to be jawing a little bit with John Austin Ricks, and Ryan Raposo is doing a little bit of jawing with the referee himself. And at this point, the officials are just trying to get control of this game. You can see Sandre Norheim getting into it as well, Simon Tranafilu. I think it's a little bit of frustration right now setting in for Syracuse. Two players that the referee's talking to, Philip Mayaka, the freshman from Kenya for Clemson, and Ryan Raposo, the sophomore for Syracuse.
Already 5 fouls, excuse me, apiece. That's pretty physical at this point. We approach the 18-minute mark of this first half. Just one booking, and it was that one yellow card to Sinclair, but there's a lot of pushing bodies, a lot of shoving. Both these teams playing physical. They have a lot of history.
It's a rivalry game. This has really turned into a matchup where you kind of circle this one on the calendar. That's what Ian McIntyre told us earlier in the week, is that this game has been circled. This is a game you want to win. If you're either side, Mike Noonan feels the same way. There's a tremendous amount of respect between these coaching staffs. And both these teams know that this is an important game for their season. For Clemson, they're trying to keep pace with Wake Forest atop the ACC Atlantic, and for Syracuse, they're trying to climb out of the cellar. They have an opportunity here. Sinclair to Raposo, tries to go lefty, finds the foot of Farron. Raposo takes a rip, but a deflection rolls over the end line, and Syracuse will have another corner kick opportunity.
Well, Raposo is going to take these chances when he gets them. He has to. I mean, he is the guy for Syracuse. Top goal scorer and kind of playing himself into that Adidas generation contract discussion. Syracuse has had a rich history with getting one player to get that contract. Raposo would be 5 years in a row if he could do it.
Tajon Buchanan, the recipient last year. Another corner kick. Massimo Farron to the heads of his teammates. Can't quite find it. Niall Higgins tries to chase it down. No whistle with the physicality. Low ball in. Out in front, but Marks makes the save necessary.
And we're now very pleased to be joined by the head man himself, head coach Jim Boeheim. Coach, thanks so much for stopping by.
Good to be with you.
Starting year 44 for you. That's a lot of time to kind of learn and grow as a coach and as a program. But what did last year specifically teach you about the group of guys you've got?
You know, every year is different. You know, last year was an up and down year. A couple key injuries, a couple things that didn't quite fit as well as we'd like, but the end result was good. We got in the tournament and didn't, you know, had another setback going into the tournament and didn't play as well as we'd like to. But overall, you know, it was a good experience, and some of our younger guys got a lot of opportunities, and that should help them this year.
Roster definitely going to look a little bit different this year with the losses of Tyus Battle and Frank Howard and O'Shea Brissett. How do you plan on trying to recoup some of that production that those three gave you?
Well, we're fortunate Elijah Hughes and Marek Dolajai and Barama got a lot of playing time and were key guys for us. Now that Barama's healthy, he's a very key guy going forward. And Jalen Carey, Buddy Boeheim got some opportunities. So, you know, I think they're ready. And we got young guys that have worked really hard at this stage and have talent, and we're just going to have to see how they fit in once we start playing.
And you mentioned Elijah Hughes. He showed the ability to take games over last year, be your go-to guy in certain situations. He's almost certainly going to be the go-to guy this season without the three that we just mentioned. What have you seen from him? How do you think he's going to play this season?
Well, he's a good player. He proved that already. I think he's better this year. But our key will be balance, that we have different guys, multiple guys that can score. It won't be one guy. And I think to win games, especially down the stretch, you got to have more than, you can't have one option. You got to have other guys. And I think we've got a lot of guys that can make good plays at the end of the game. Even last year, Tyus made them, Elijah made them, Frank made them, O'Shea made them. So, you know, you have to have multiple guys that can make plays, and I think we will have that.
One thing that Elijah does really well, that shoot the three ball. You guys got a lot better. Moved from 14th in the ACC 2 years ago up toward the middle of the pack in terms of three-point shooting. How would you evaluate where the long ball is at with this year's squad?
I think we should be as good or maybe a little bit better, hopefully, from the three, and that should open up some things in terms of getting to the basket as well. So hopefully we'll be better.
Good group of freshmen coming in, your largest freshman class since 2013. 5 new guys, a lot of good three-point shooters there as well. How have they kind of integrated into this team, and what do you expect from this group of freshmen this season?
Well, the summer helped them. We had practices and games, so that's put them ahead a little bit. I think it's a talented group. I know that 3 or 4 of these guys are going to help us and will need to help us.
When you look back to the summer, when those guys got that experience, a lot of that is because of the Italy trip that you made. 3 games against some pretty good all-star teams out in Italy. What kind of experience was that like for you, and how has that helped this team going forward this season?
I think all games help you. The competition wasn't great, but they were grown men. They were physical, so I think that helped us. But the practices and the games certainly have put this year's group ahead of schedule.
Couple of exhibition games in between now and the season opener against Virginia, of course, the defending national champions, a team that you guys have started to have a little bit of a rivalry with over the last couple of seasons. How important is it to get off on the right foot, and how different is it to be going up against a team the quality of Virginia to lead off the year?
They're a great team. They're a great coach, and they lose a couple key guys, but they've got great players. So it's a tremendous challenge for us, and we'll use the exhibition games to get ready and hopefully have a good first game with Virginia.
To the naked eye, Bryce Mills looks like your typical high school football player. But he's not, because just 2 hours after he's done hitting teammates on the football field, he's busy hitting punching bags at the gym.
Just wanted to try something new, and I was interested in, I was always good in sparring and the martial arts aspect of things, and I was, why not try fighting, why not try boxing?
It started with karate as a kid and a double black belt before he was even a teenager. Now it's a full-blown professional boxing career with his pro debut coming back in May. But Bryce also loves football, and finding the balance between the two is easier said than done.
It's tough at times, sometimes you don't want to get up and go to practice or go to training, but you just got to force yourself to do it. And in the end, you got to realize that the reward is more than the sacrifice you have to make. It outweighs that.
I don't know how he does it. I couldn't do it. And, I've only had one kid ever do it, and it's him.
So for Bryce Mills, the location doesn't really matter. It could be here on the football field at Liverpool High School, or here at Impact Martial Arts with Team Andrello. You know exactly what you're going to get out of Bryce Mills, and that's effort.
He's the kid that we got to say, hey, it's Monday. We're not hitting today. And he's just full go.
Giving his 100% in each practice, I think, is probably the one thing that stands out.
It's all go all the time for Bryce, and that's got his coaches describing him with these words.
Intense.
Tenacious.
But for Bryce himself, he knows he's still
learning. And I'd say that just because, like a learner, maybe, because I'm constantly learning, and I realize that there's more steps I have to take to get to the place where I want to be.
And whatever that place is, whether it's on the football field or in the boxing ring, there's no doubt Bryce Mills' future is as golden as his nickname. JD Raucci, NCC News.
And Carolina is on the board, 7-2 Orange.
And now the lid is disposed.
Dolajai drives left alley, kicks back out left corner for Elijah Hughes. Stutter step, three-point shot on the way, and he's fouled. He missed it again, and Leaky Black will be tagged with the infraction this time around.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think that's a foul. I just don't think Leaky Black got in contact. Eli kicked his legs out when he took that, but yeah, Buddy went 0 for 3 at the line. Who's to say that Hughes won't do the same?
Elijah a bit better of a free throw shooter than Buddy at 81% on the season. First freebie for Hughes is good. Christian Keeling, the backup shooting guard, will check in for Carolina at the next whistle. He sits at the scorer's table. 8-2 Orange, 17:41 to go, first half. Eli, a first-team All-ACCer, spins the ball in his hands and nabs the second free throw. Leaky Black will come off the floor with 2 fouls as Christian Keeling checks in.
Elijah, the lowest vote getter on the first team, but he was still 70 votes ahead of the leading vote getter on the second team, which shows strong disparity between the top 5 and the next 5.
Hughes, third free throw, all of them good. He cashes in on all 3 of his attempts. It's 10-2 Syracuse as the ACC's leading scorer gets on the board with 3. Left wing Cole Anthony holds. He was a third-team All-ACCer. Straight away for Brandon Robinson. He hit 5 threes yesterday against Virginia Tech. Feeds it right wing, back to Anthony. Stutter step dribble, ACC logo, right elbow for Armando Bacot. Back to the ACC logo, floater from Robinson, drops. Brandon Robinson's on the board, 10-4 Orange, 17-15 first half.
You can't give Robinson much space regardless of where he is on the floor. He can hit from 2, and we saw it last night. He can hit from 3.
Joe Girard controls straight away, working on Cole Anthony. Draws a double team momentarily from Garrison Brooks. Still barking out the orders. First pass of the possession goes left wing for Elijah Hughes, who triggers a 3 ball. He missed it a little bit strong, and Christian Keeling has the rebound for North Carolina. Tar Heels the other way. Almost a double dribble from Cole Anthony, and his pass is picked off by Elijah Hughes. Back the other way in transition. Floats it up, blocked from behind by Anthony, but they're going to say it was a goaltend, and that the ball hit the backboard. The basket counts for Elijah Hughes, and the Orange have an 8-point advantage.
And Roy Williams is not happy at all right now. There was a careless pass from Brandon Robinson intended for Christian Keeling, and Elijah Hughes had that read like a book.
Gives the Orange a 12-4 lead, 16:40 to go in the first half. Elijah Hughes has 5 points for the Orange, 4 for Marek Dolezaj. Straight away for Cole Anthony. Feeds a pass left wing for Brandon Robinson. Back to Christian Keeling. Rotates it around the perimeter to Anthony. Free throw line. Garrison Brooks goes up and under. Floats up a 2-point shot, and it's good. Plus the foul. Garrison Brooks working hard against Barama Sidibe. Barama tried to go straight up, but the left arm came down and tapped Garrison Brooks on his shooting arm, and Brooks will head to the free throw line for the opportunity at a 3-point play.
How about this from Garrison Brooks? Last 5 games, he's shooting 82% at the line. The 6 games before that, he was a combined 32%. He's figured something out.
64% from the line on the season for Brooks, wearing some goggles here after he missed a game earlier this season after being poked in the eye. He misses the free throw, and Sidibe corrals the rebound for the Orange. Still a 6-point lead for SU, 12-6. Orange over Tar Heels, just about 4 minutes gone here in the first half of the first game of the ACC tournament here for Syracuse in the second round. Ball almost stolen away by North Carolina and Brandon Robinson, but instead a foul will be called against Robinson. They'll say that Elijah Hughes' arm was obstructed from catching the ball by the arm of Robinson. And that's another foul that's really getting this UNC-favored crowd up in arms with the officials.
Brandon Robinson's second foul, and we're less than 4 minutes into this game. And this is a guy that had 17 points last night in a win against Virginia Tech. A huge reason why Carolina had the momentum in that blowout win.
He and Leaky Black both have 2 as Andrew Platek checks in for Robinson. Elijah Hughes toying with him at the top of the key, triggers a 3-ball, missed it, and Barama Sidibe tried to tap out the rebound, but it goes into the hands of Christian Keeling. Straight away for Cole Anthony, who triggers the offense. Platek in the right corner to the ACC logo for Garrison Brooks between 2 trees, misses the shot. Long rebound there for Elijah Hughes. Buddy Boeheim helped him out, give him the assist on the board.
Carolina's the best rebounding team in the ACC. So if Syracuse can force Carolina to tap rebounds, then you have a chance to get it on the deck. You will not beat Bacot and Brooks to the glass.
Girard trying to add to a 6-point lead, drives down the alley, kicks right corner. Elijah Hughes triggers and hits from distance. He's got 8 points. No ill will after the injury kept him out on Saturday, and the Orange have a 9-point lead. Carolina trying to get into it. Left wing for Andrew Platek. Still a lot of passes around the perimeter. Not a ton of paint touches for Carolina in this game as they trail by 9 with 5 to go. Right corner for Platek. Ball is tipped out of bounds off the hands of Marek Dolezaj, and that'll bring us to our first break. Orange off to a great start. 15-6 and have a couple of key Tar Heels in foul trouble. Foul trouble and Boo Birds are out in Greensboro. 15-6 Orange with just over 15 minutes to go in the first half. We'll be right back. You're listening to Syracuse basketball on the original home of the Orange, WAER. Syracuse off to a great start, 15-6 over North Carolina. Just about 5 minutes gone in the first half of the first meeting for Syracuse in the ACC tournament. But we do want to update you folks on something going on at the next level of basketball. Utah Jazz center Rudy Gobert has tested positive for coronavirus And because of that and other concerns surrounding the virus that is spreading across the world and across the United States, the NBA has chosen to suspend its season. Nothing has been said about college basketball and the future of the NCAA tournament or this ACC tournament, but right now the NBA has officially suspended its season, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski.